If you want to be successful, you need to understand that you have to operate in the power of now. Today, we're going to break down stories, how we operate in the power of now and how we benefited from it, and when we didn't operate in the power of now and how we missed out on opportunities.
A lot of us, we were born to be great. We're believers in God. The Bible tells us we're made in the image of a great God. We should operate in greatness. So greatness is within sight of each and every one of us.
We did not see what he saw at the time. We operated in fear and we decided not to take action. So I think fear of the unknown stopped us back then.
The reason I feel like a lot of people don't take action is because they don't have enough information.
People wait and they lose out on massive opportunities like this one. But for us, I'm thankful that we was able to take this and use it as a learning lesson and say, you know what, if somebody wants a contract now, we're gonna do whatever we have to do to send them a contract so that we don't miss out on money. But we gotta move quickly. Be obsessed about the power of now and acting right now as opposed to waiting. Welcome to another edition of the Expose and Expand podcast show. I'm the man with the plan, Jeremy Mathis.
I'm Joshua. I'm going to give you the game, Mathis, and welcome to another edition of the Expose and Expand podcast show, where we expose you to the ideas, the strategies, the struggles, the failures, the people, and the experiences that have gotten us from zero to millions.
The old adage goes, the best time to plant a tree was yesterday. The second best time is today, which is now. If you want to be successful, you need to understand that you have to operate in the power of now. You cannot wait. You need to understand that waiting is your enemy. If you want to do anything great, it happens now. It doesn't happen tomorrow. You got to move. So today we're going to break down stories of how we operate in the power of now and how we benefited from it, and when we didn't operate in the power of now and how we missed out on opportunities. Guys, today's episode is critical because what we want you guys to do is avoid growing old and having regret. Being on your deathbed and saying, I wish I did this. I wish I did that. When you wait, you tend to forget. You lose the enthusiasm that you had when you first started or when you first thought about the idea. When you wait, things typically don't go as well as if you moved and acted in the power of now. So guys, today we're going to talk about the power of now, why you need to incorporate it in your life, and how it will help you.
The power of now is so important because it gives you, if you start now and if you do things now, it gives you momentum in the direction of where you're trying to go. And momentum is one of the most powerful forces on this earth. So if you have momentum, you can get to your desired destination much faster. And for us, that is played out so often in our life. When we've taken action now, it has allowed us to get to where we're trying to go much faster.
Yeah, for sure. And Josh said it, and I want you guys to make sure you heard what Josh said, which is momentum is one of the most powerful forces in the world. And the only way you gain that is by getting started, which is now. And there's a couple of stories that we're going to go over today. And the first one that I want to talk about is our experience getting into real estate. We've told this story a couple of times, but it applies so well to today's topic that we want to bring it up again. So if you didn't know, we've been in real estate investing now for about 7 years. And prior to getting into real estate investing, we had a cleaning company. And prior to that cleaning company, I interned for a guy named Lopez. I did well in that internship. That internship then translated to me and Josh partnering with the guy that I interned for. We started that cleaning company. We grew and sold that cleaning company within 18 months. Once we sold that cleaning company, we was looking for the next thing to do. And we heard an ad on the radio, and that ad on the radio said, come to my free seminar. We acted. We didn't wait. We signed up for the seminar. We went to the seminar. Long story short, we jumped right into it, and we spent money, and we got started investing in real estate. The point that I want you guys to understand about that story is if we didn't take action now, we probably would have did what a lot of you guys do, which is something that we used to do, which is wait and talk ourselves out of it. Because the more you wait to do something, the more that little voice, that negative voice that's in your mind, it starts playing games with you. It starts telling you, oh, to stay comfortable, don't move. And if we didn't take action now and make the investment in ourselves, I truly believe that we would not be sitting here today talking on this podcast show and owning millions of dollars worth of real estate if we decided to wait.
So you said we didn't even start that real estate after the cleaning company. We was in the midst of trying to sell the cleaning company when we got started investing into real estate. When we did what we're talking about today, which is the power of now, which is taking action now. And for us, we're just trying to sell this cleaning company, and at the same time, we're trying to get our real estate business off of the ground. But it got me to thinking back to that time, because we were working easily 19, 20-hour days during the day. And sometimes at night, we're working on the cleaning company, preparing it for sale. And at the same time, we're trying to go out and make this real estate thing work. See, a lot of people make excuses on why they are not successful. A lot of people make excuses on why they can't take action, and they wonder why their life isn't changing.
Now, Josh, you're absolutely right. And I didn't give the full context of the story, because prior to selling the cleaning company, once we made the decision to sell it, we jumped into real estate.
To give them more perspective, we was having our Q1 meeting with Lopez, our partner. It was like the beginning of January. And we're sitting down and we're talking to him. He was like, hey, you guys hate this business. Long story short, we said, you know what? We do hate this business. And he was the one that encouraged us to sell the business. So in the process of us trying to sell the business, we were trying to figure out what route we should take. And then, like you said, we heard that ad on the radio. I think it was, sometimes late January when we heard that ad, and we just took action.
Yeah, we definitely, we moved quick. We took action. But the whole point that I wanted to get to was when you said most people make excuses as to why they cannot do something. We essentially, when we got started investing in real estate, we essentially had a full-time job. Even though we owned the cleaning company, it was still a full-time job. We were still running it. We were still managing it, trying to get it up and going to get sold. And so many people make excuses as to why they don't get started now. Oh, I got a job, I got kids, I got this, as opposed to putting that work in and working themselves out of the bad situation that they were in.
Why do you think people don't take action? Why do you think people don't start now?
I said it earlier, because they wait. They give that little voice in their head the opportunity to grow. For us, I think what works so well for us, we don't give that little voice in our head, that little negative voice in our head, an opportunity to grow. We, as soon as we hear it, we go and we take action, we move now. Other people, they wait, and then that little voice keeps telling them, nah, you're not good enough for that, or you can't do that. And they start to believe it, and then before you know it, they're back to where they were. So I think that's why most people never get started and they wait. What about you?
No, I think it's fear. It's fear of the unknown. It's fear of the things that they can't control. Most people try to control tomorrow, and that stops them from taking action. A lot of us, we were born to be great. We're believers in God. The Bible tells us we're made in the image of a great God. So if we're made in his image, we should operate in greatness. So greatness is within sight of each and every one of us. But there was a time in our life when somebody said you can't. There was a time in our life where we tried something and we failed, and then you didn't go and do it again. So I think that's what it is for a lot of people. Is one, they've never been told that they can be great, or they've never been told that they can do something. And then two, it's just that fear of the unknown.
Got you. So going to the fear into the unknown, another moment where I wouldn't say we allowed fear to take over us, but we waited. And I want to give you a story of how, when you don't act in the power of now and you wait, what could happen. So when we sold that cleaning company, we had an opportunity for us to run a yoga company with Lopez. So he had just brought into a yoga company. He was looking for a CEO, and he was like, "Man, guys, instead of doing real estate, you guys need to come and run this company for me and be the CEO of this yoga company." He was like, "No, we want to get into real estate." So he said, "Okay, well, if you guys want to go into real estate, you guys should at least invest in the company right now, because I'm telling you, this is going to be massive. It's going to be big." And we thought about it, and that little voice tell us, "Nah, man, you guys ain't ready for that. You guys don't need to invest money into that. You need to put your money into real estate." And make a long story short, we decided not to invest in that yoga company. Fast forward 7 years, that yoga company is now one of the hottest yoga companies in South Florida. It's growing throughout the state. They're opening multiple locations. And me and Josh, we finally stopped waiting, and we decided to invest our money into the yoga company. The investment that we made now is worth far less than if we made that investment 7 years ago and we didn't wait. So yes, we are still in on the opportunity, but our equity and the potential upside for us, it has decreased tremendously, because over these 7 years of us waiting to get in, the company has grown by leaps and bounds, and it's worth so much money now. And because we waited and we didn't act now, I'm not saying we're in a bad spot, but we're not in the best spot that we could have been if we didn't wait.
We're not in a bad spot at all, guys. So we, like Jerm just said, we could have got more equity, but it was definitely a learning lesson for us. Why do you think we didn't take action when he first presented the opportunity?
Fear of the unknown. Exactly what you just said. Fear of the unknown. We did not see what he saw at the time. And I think because we didn't see and we didn't understand fully the opportunity, we operated in fear and we decided not to take action, because even along the way that he gave us opportunities to kind of get in and invest money, and we kept saying no, 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 until it got to a point where it's like, dang, you don't see the success, you guys got to get in. So I think fear of the unknown stopped us back then.
Me personally, I don't know if it was fear of the unknown. It was just the ignorance. You don't know what you don't know. And at the time, as I think back at it, we didn't take action in trying to do more due diligence and understanding the business. I think if we would have did that, then it would have closed that gap of the fear of the unknown, because we had data. We said all the time on the show, data not drama. We would have had data to back up our decision. So I think it leads me to another point. The reason I feel like a lot of people don't take action is because they don't have enough information. You haven't done enough research on it. So the information is out there. It's just you need to go ahead and do the research. For us, if we would have asked for more information, if we would have asked more questions, that would have gave us the answer we needed. That would have helped us build up the confidence that we needed to go ahead and take action.
So what I hear you saying, correct me if I'm wrong, is part of why people don't operate it now is because they don't even take a step to learn about the potential opportunity or about the potential thing that they want to do.
I think we mentioned it on the last episode, was proper preparation prevents poor performance. If you're prepared, if you have all the data, you're getting ready. You'll take that step. You'll be more confident in taking that next step. A lot of people don't have the information. A lot of people are lazy. A lot of people don't want to do the work. So because of that, they don't take action.
Yeah, for sure. So as far as not taking action, could you think about any other stories where we did not take action, or we did take action and it worked out for us when we did, or we didn't and it didn't work out for us?
Another story for taking action. I can't think of anything. Yeah. What about you?
For me, I guess I'm the only one. Mr. Game ain't bringing the game today. But no, for me, I think about a time where I don't know how you forgot this. I thought because you was upset when this happened. So I remember before we built out a sales team, I was at the mall with my family, and I got a call from somebody that wanted to sell their house, and it was at 2:00 in the afternoon. And I stepped away from my family. I let them continue to shop while I took the sales call. This seller, this lady, she was in a hurry to sell her property. I'm talking about this was a slam dunk lead. This is the type of person they called. She called our website. She knew exactly how much she wanted for the house. She knew she wanted to sell fast, and she knew the price that she wanted. This is the perfect seller. So the conversation, instead of it being the usual 30 to 40 minutes, the conversation was only 15 minutes, which was good for me because I was out with my family. We had the conversation. We agreed on the price. I knew the area very well, so I didn't have to comp the property. And I also knew that the price that she wanted, we were going to easily wholesale this deal and make $40,000. I'm happy. I'm counting the pennies before they come in. I'm like, oh, this can't get better. The only way that this can get better if she wanted a lower price, but this was perfect scenario, perfect seller. So I said, listen, ma'am, I'm out right now with my family. Give me until 6:00 when I get back home, and I'll send over the agreement, and we can get the deal done, and we can get this closed out for you very, very quickly. She said, okay. I go back to my day. I go back spending time with my family, and then I get home at 6:00, and that excitement turns into dread. But even before I got home, on the way home, I called Josh, and I'm like, Josh, I'm about to lock up this deal. We about to make a quick 40. It's going to be real easy. I get home. I'm opening up my computer. I'm excited to send off this agreement. I type up the agreement, and I call her, hey, I sent the agreement to you. Yeah, Jeremy, I'm so sorry that, I'm not going to be able to do business with you. What you mean? I thought we had an agreement. I thought I thought this was already solidified. Well, I decided to go with a different company. Why did you go with a different company? Because I needed to go with a company that I knew could handle this and get this closed out for me, because I really need to sell this property. Well, I said I could have did that, but she said it's too late. I already signed a contract and you're not going to get the deal. I said, how much did you sell the property for? She went into contract for $20,000 less than what we was going to get the property under contract for. So as you can imagine, at that moment, I feel sick. Not only do I lose out on $40,000, I got to call my brother, my business partner, and break his heart too and let him know, yeah, because I waited, because I didn't act now, because I didn't simply ask you to send an agreement over for me, we lost out on $40,000. I had to make that call. We both was upset, but we learned you got to act now. You cannot wait, because the longer you wait, the longer you miss out on opportunities.
Now that because of that happened a few years ago to us, and now because that happened, we understand the power of speed to lead. Yeah. We understand that you need to act now and move quickly. So for us, if we're ever on the phone with the seller or for anything that we're involved in, and we know there's an opportunity and that we want to take advantage of that opportunity. So now what we do, if Jeremy's out with his family, he gonna call me and I'm gonna send that agreement. If I can't do it, we're gonna call Lori to do it. And if Lori can't, we're gonna call somebody to get that over to the seller. So that was a huge lesson, a wake-up call, because at that point in our business, this was because you was obviously still doing sales. So at that point, it was probably 4 years ago, 3.5, 4 years ago, and every sale was critical. Yeah. We could not afford to lose a sale, especially a $40,000 pop like that one. As Jeremy mentioned, it's in the area where we knew buyers. It could have been an easy 2-3 weeks cash conversion cycle.
That's easy. That's what happens when you don't operate in the power of now and you wait. Like so often people wait and they lose out on massive opportunities like this one. But for us, I'm thankful that we was able to take this and use it as a learning lesson and say, you know what, if somebody wants a contract now, we're gonna do whatever we have to do to send them a contract so that we don't miss out on money. But we gotta move quickly. So
this for me, man, this has been a very good episode, and it's helping people understand the importance of just the power of now. Yeah. Like that has been. We had our production meeting, and I'm sitting here thinking about it over the past couple of days, and it got me to thinking, like, that has been by far been one of the things that has helped us be successful, one of the things that has helped us make millions. It's just taking action now, doing things now.
Yeah, but talk about making millions. Talk about a story, the story, just the deal that we got from social media that we just closed within 2 weeks.
Facts. So we just made $70,000 on the deal. Somebody reached out to us on social media, and they said, "Hey, man, I have this house and this property that I'm looking to sell." So we go ahead, we reach out to them, we call them, and the property is in the area that we like buying in. We was able to get that property under contract, and as Jeremy just mentioned, within 2 weeks we made $70,000. But we could have sat there and we could have just looked at the phone and said, we'll reach out to them tomorrow, or we'll reach out to them later. But we saw that message come in, and we said, you know what, we need to act now. And because we acted right then and at that moment, we made $70,000 in 2 weeks.
So it's not even just about acting right then in that moment. We had to move stuff around, because when they reached out to us at 2 o'clock, this was another story. They reached out to us in the afternoon. We saw the DM come in, and we moved things around on our schedule because they said, listen, we're looking to sell. And we went out to the property and we made things happen on that same day, as opposed to, hey, can we do it tomorrow? Can we do it next week? No, we got to get this deal done right now. Because we acted now, within 2 weeks, we made $70,000 because we didn't wait. So guys, I hope you guys understand, and I think we've done a great job of helping you understand why you need to live and be obsessed about the power of now and acting right now as opposed to waiting. Any other finishing points, topics, and things that you want to touch on?
No, that's it, man.
Guys, so one thing that we want you guys to do, if you listen to this episode, I'm sure you got value. Leave a comment right now and let us know what is one thing that you're gonna act on and move in the power of now. Something that you've been procrastinating on, something that you've been waiting on. What is one thing you're gonna say, I'm gonna do it right now? Leave a comment and let us know so that we can hold you accountable. Guys, we hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, we have the gentleman's agreement. And the gentleman's agreement says if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And also, again, leave that comment about what you're going to do to act now. If you're listening on the podcast players, Apple or Spotify, hit that follow button. Leave us 5 stars. Doing those things helps us to continue to grow the show and get this message out to people about exposure leads to expansion. Expose and expand. Peace.
Peace.